Welcome to Scholar's Bite, a talk show with researchers. I'm your host, Amrita Panjwani, founder of Simplified Statistics. And today on this talk show, we have a wonderful guest, Dr. Shahila Saeed. A warm welcome, Dr. Saeed.
Thank you so much, Amrita. I'm really glad to be in conversation with you.
Same here. And I would like you to give a brief introduction about yourself to our viewers.
Okay, I was brought up in Jodhpur. I did my schooling and graduation in science biology from Jodhpur. And simultaneously, I also completed a diploma in computers from NIT. Then I pursued my MBA in HR from Jaipur. And I completed my PhD in the year 2017 from the University of Kota. And though as of now I'm not working, Amrita, but I'm always available for the scholars to help them with their research work to the best of my knowledge and experience.
That's great. So I have a
Thank you.
question. Why did you go for PhD? What was the intent behind going for PhD?
Actually, I'm very keen to learn more. So from if you see my academic background, first of all, I was a biology student, you know.
Right.
Then I then I switched over to management.
Right.
So and I like exploring different areas. So PhD is a field where you can acquire knowledge on a wider perspective.
True.
So that's the reason I just thought no, I should go for PhD because I was very keen to learn more and more about, especially about the banking industry.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what was your research topic?
Actually, Amrita, a short stint with a NBFC, a multinational NBFC,
Okay.
post my MBA. So
Okay.
that somehow developed my interest in learning more about the Indian banking industry. And as that time was a major upheaval, and banks were getting merged.
Right.
So this definitely had an impact on the employees as well.
Exactly.
So this somehow encouraged me to know more about the banking industry and the working environment. Yeah. Amrita, because merger is not just about meeting the financial needs of the company or the financial challenges of a company. It's more about retaining its employees as well.
Right.
So I was really eager to understand how the employees react to that, how the employees adapt to these changes, and what is how can early involvement of HR contribute to this. So that's how I chose my subject related to bank mergers, and my topic was post-merger effects on employee engagement in select banks in India.
That's a wonderful topic, I would say.
Thank you so much.
Because when mergers happen, I don't think people would give more weightage to that particular aspect, like what is the impact on employees after merger.
Exactly,
So
exactly,
that's
Amrita.
a good topic.
Even if you change a workstation of an employee, he feels a bit demotivated.
Hmm.
We don't enjoy working for a moment of time. So if you change the complete work environment of an employee, this would definitely affect them.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Right. So, suppose if I have no idea how to go for PhD and what needs to be done there, can you let me know, like, what are the stages in PhD? How do you apply, and how is the process completely?
Actually, Amrita, PhD, it in itself is a challenge.
Oh God.
You know, and it's a long-term commitment,
True.
right? So it's become really imperative that it should be properly planned and executed. So if I talk about my challenges, so I would begin with, the first and foremost challenge that I faced was deciding upon the topic. It sounds easy, but it isn't.
True.
Yeah,
True.
because that has to be unique, right?
Right.
So, first of all, what we need to understand, Amrita, the area of our interest. And secondly, understand your limitations as well. And then we should communicate with the people related to that field. Try and understand their perspective, right? And then analyze the complete situation. Like if I talk about my case, I already had a vague notion, that I would be taking up my topic related to post-merger effects. But the idea of precisely focusing on employee engagement, that struck my mind when I actually interacted with the employees of the acquired banks, obviously post-merger. Amrita, I somehow found them really confused, insecure. They were unwilling to work in the new environment. So that gave me an idea to specially focus on employee engagement related to post-merger. And hence my study was related to post-merger effects on employee engagement. So that's,
Great.
that's how we need to finalize a topic.
So the way you reached at your topic is really, it seems that that is what you were keen to understand, and that was the scenario that you
Exactly.
witnessed. So it was a very
Yeah.
good
And
pick. Okay. So once you
yeah.
finalize the topic, what's the next step?
The next step was then writing the literature.
Okay.
Yeah, this is again a difficult task, writing the literature, because it's an engineer study, you know.
Can you elaborate it? What does engineer study mean here?
It needs a very thorough and novel approach towards the chosen subject. And the subject had not been decrypted earlier. That is very important. It has to be original, your unique study. So for this, you need the minutest understanding. And for that, there's only one way around, and that is read a lot of literature, whether relevant or irrelevant. That would give you an insight of writing a good thesis. So I was right for complete 6 months. I just kept reading literature, journals, articles, theses, white papers before I actually started writing my thesis. Because it's not as simple as writing an essay.
True, true.
The more you read, the better will be your writing skills.
So somewhere did you come across certain already published content that matched with what you were trying to do?
Yes, that's why I said we need a very clever approach.
So I can see that, like while you'll go through the literature, suppose if I have a topic in my mind and I
Yeah.
already find, oh, somebody has already done research on it. So what do I
You
do
will find
then?
thousands of research related to your topic.
Okay, then how
Yeah.
to proceed from there then?
That's why I said finalizing the topic in itself is a challenging task.
Challenging task, right? I can see
I
that
found
now.
thousands of studies related to post-merger effects in banks, you
Okay,
know, but mine was related to post-merger effect on employee engagement. So that made it unique.
unique,
Just one
right?
variable, yeah, and that made it unique. So that's why right from the topic, it's a difficult task.
True.
Yeah, because Amrita, the presentation and language of the thesis should be at par to draw what new light you are able to put in the mentioned subject. Otherwise, there's no point. If you're not able to convey what you have studied, there's no point. So it's very important to focus on the topic, on the literature, before you actually begin writing your thesis. Right?
Okay. So a lot of effort in the background has to be done before the final
Exactly.
title of the research comes up.
Exactly. A lot of efforts you need to put in. And the most difficult part, I tell you,
Yes.
was the analysis part.
Okay. Why was that
Yeah.
difficult?
That is the most vital part of a research. And if I refer to most of the management students, we have a preconceived notion, Amrita, that analysis is all about chi-square or maybe ANOVA.
Right.
That's it. You but during the course of the study, that turns out to be an absolute misconception. And during that time, there's a decrease of zeal.
Okay.
I had that, I faced that. But
Okay.
then it's okay, where there's a will, there's a way.
But then,
So to
is it not a part of when you enroll for PhD, and is it not covered in the content provided by PhD that what all research tools can be used by researchers? Because I do not think a student from maybe social science background or a student say from management background
management, yeah.
would
Mm.
be able to know all the tools. So there must be some compact curriculum provided by PhD as well. Was there something like that to help you?
That's a very valid point you mentioned, Amrita. Seriously, there's nothing like that provided with the curriculum. So no,
Okay,
that's very important. Like I believe universities should start, at least
true.
start arranging some or organizing some training programs for the students, for the PhD scholars.
It's much needed. Otherwise, what will happen is that people will outsource that entire skill set. And a researcher,
Yeah,
if they do not have the analysis skill set, his entire purpose is not met, I feel.
exactly. Very true. Very valid point, Amrita. So, but it depends on what, your intentions as well.
True. Yes.
In my case, Amrita, I never wanted to outsource my work. So, to overcome that, what I did, I started contacting people related to that field. So, I tell you how, in my case, being a newbie, I managed to do the analysis on my own. So, through a number of efforts and a chain of contacts, I somehow met Mr. Prabhat Mittal sir from Satyavati College, Delhi. He's a genius in stats.
Wonderful.
So I contacted him. I discussed my problem with him. And luckily, he was very helpful and cooperative. So he suggested me that I need to do my analysis using MOS. MOS was completely a new word for me.
True.
I had not even heard about this tool before. So, for a moment, Amrita, that acceptance was kind of embarrassing for me. How do I say I don't even know what is a MOS? But then, that's how we learn. I thought there's no point shying away from accepting my limitations because learning is a continuous process. So there's no point holding back. Not knowing isn't a problem, but not willing to learn definitely is.
Very well said, I would
So
say.
thank you so much. So he just gave me a brief idea about Amos. And then I started watching tutorials on YouTube on Amos. For another 2, 3 months, I was just watching tutorials on Amos, trying to make the part diagrams, trying to understand the how to, write the inferences. Then after 2 months or 3 months, I conducted a pilot survey successfully.
Great.
and and I got the same published in Prabhat Sir's journal as well.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, thank you. And so that's how I managed to complete the analysis part of my thesis. But Amrita, the reason why I would insist on discussing your problems with your supervisor and interacting with people is that they have the solution to all the problems. Because my supervisor and Dr. Prabhat Mittal sir, they have helped me in the moments when I had no one to answer my queries. So they were of great help. And a supervisor, as I said, we have a very superficial knowledge. Only he can provide a blueprint of your thesis, and then only you can proceed. So that's very important to reach out to people, to speak up, to discuss.
How would you find the role of a supervisor in the success of a scholar's PhD or the entire research?
Amrita, a PhD is impossible without guidance. If I talk about my experience, my supervisor was always there to solve each and every problem. Even if I had a problem in writing the literature, he was there to help me. He exactly knows how you are supposed to frame a sentence when you're writing a thesis.
Okay.
So he advised me, he guided me how to begin writing with the literature, what should be the language, what should be the content, and even the topic, as I told you. I just kept on noting making notes of the responses of employees. When I discussed with him, he categorized those responses into different variables. He related them to different variables like motivation, communication, employee engagement.
Wonderful.
Then he advised me how we can relate those variables to employee engagement and then analyze employee engagement. This cannot strike my mind.
Exactly. I can see the picture that how the
Yeah.
guide actually is a true guide in the sense that they show you the path and then you yourself have to walk through it definitely. But
Yes,
then if
yes, of
somebody
course.
guides you, the struggle at least reduces to a great extent.
Right.
I think somewhere down the line, it is also important that how is your rapport with the guide? If you blindly trust them, I think you will learn many things throughout the journey.
And your rapport is completely based on your sincerity.
Yes, okay. So that proportionality is very important.
Yeah, exactly. It's based on your sincerity, on your hard work, on your perseverance.
True.
Otherwise there's no rapport.
I think you
So
have
that
been a sincere most scholar for your guide as well, because the way you told that you kept on learning the software and it took you months, but you still didn't quit there is a very big thing. I think any other person would go and say, okay, let me see who can just do it for me and I'll buy that service from them. But that spirit
no,
to learn is something that is
exactly.
really very much valued.
Amrita, that is the actual essence of a research study.
Great.
Yeah.
And what would you consider as your achievements through PhD?
My achievements through PhDs, I have learned to acquire knowledge on a wider perspective. I have learned the importance of reaching out to people, talking to them, how they can solve your problems. And even I have learned that how I can manage If the problem comes my way, how I can manage to overcome that. That has really taught me that no matter what, if you want to achieve your goals, there is always a way out.
Great. And I think PhD is a long process, so it's not possible that you'd be immune through the life events. So it's up to our
Exactly,
willpower
Amrita.
whether we give it up or not.
Exactly. Like it's up to you how far you can go to achieve your goal.
Once you come up with something that is so novel, I think it boosts up your confidence for the entire life.
Exactly, it does. Definitely, it does, Amrita. It's a lifetime achievement as well. So
True.
as I said, it gives you it teaches you how to acquire knowledge on a wider perspective. Having said Amrita, a researcher's journey is full of strenuous struggles. It is laborious, demoralizing at time, yet it's a great learning experience. It will teach you to acquire knowledge. It will get the best out of you. And there were times during my PhD when I just felt I have reached out my limits. But I was fortunate enough to have Dr. Kapil Dev Sharma sir as my supervisor. His patience, his understanding, his supervision, they were very instrumental in boosting my motivational spirits.
So guide is must
See,
hold you back.
a guide is really a must. He had solutions to all my problems. So, whatever I have achieved is a reflection of his guidance and, of course, my family's support.
So coming to the last part, what would be your final message to all the people who are willing to pursue PhD?
When you decide of going for a research study, please know the area of your interest. That is very important, Amrita, because until you have the interest in that study, you just can't proceed with that. And understand your limitations and accept them. Reach out to people, try and interact with more and more people related to that stream,
True.
understand their perspective. And since we all have the ease to access to information,
Right.
so read as much literature as you can. That will help you a lot. And try attending good training programs if possible. Keep yourself updated about the training programs and try and attend those training programs. It's a tough job, but finally it's a good learning experience. And as I said, it will get the best out of you. So, your determination, your dedication, your perseverance, and your willingness to learn, that will never go unrewarded. My best wishes to all these aspiring scholars.
That's so nice of you giving them best wishes because that's what most of them need. It was a pleasure talking to you, Dr. Shahla Saeed, and I'm so glad that you were able to make out time for this talk show today.
Thank you so much, Amrita. It was a pleasure interacting with you today, and I hope this would be really helpful to the aspiring scholars. Thank you.